Just wait till tonight and then work on it.
Yeah.
It'll be 90 degrees at least.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream. Looking at what we have here now, you can see that the struts point to the back. The suspension points to the back, so we'll have to position that to where when it's underneath there, it's the same way. Not a big deal. Actually gonna be pretty easy to do, I think, overall. Especially since I'm just gonna instruct Heidi what she needs to do. So it's upside down right now and reversed. Or, no, I take that back. It's correct, but it's upside down. No, reversed too. So we'll have to flip it around. Yeah, and then it'll flip on its face at that point. Yeah, this is nice. There's a packing slip. You want to rip that off there? Heidi's the packing slip master with all those years she worked in the parts department. But yeah, this is all we were waiting for. Just a lift gate and a quick delivery. If you get a brand new RV, or you get any RV for that matter, climb underneath of it with your camera phone, good flash, good lighting, whatever, and take pictures of anything on the RV, on the frame, anything that you see a label on. Like in our case, when we first got the RV, I climbed underneath there and took pictures of both axles, the serial numbers, all the tags. And the nice thing about that is, whenever they asked what the serial number was, I didn't have to come out here and climb underneath the RV and look. I just went to my phone. I have it all saved on my Google Drive, and yeah. And it's the same with the RV too. On the frame in the front, there's a lot of tags that are maybe not as visible as they used to be. You can't even read what the foot-pounds for the torque is on this. Well, I know that I took a picture of this when we first got it, and it's 100. And the only reason I know is because I have that picture. Same with this, the serial number, all this information here. That's just a caution. I wasn't worried about that. Of course, all these tags, because on the older ones, they faded out real bad. I learned that firsthand from our old 92 Terry camper. But yeah, I'm glad. Now, I want to tell you something. I just got out of the shower, and we just rejuvenated the softener. We just checked out all the filters to make sure they were okay. I cleaned the dirt guard, which is underneath that cover that's kind of blocking the sun from beating down on it. So you can see this yellow hose and that filter that's sticking out right there, this yellow hose that's in the sun, and then that part of the yellow hose was in the sun earlier, but not now. And then of course that is seeing a little bit of sun, and then this part of the hose too. With that all running, I took a shower with no hot water on whatsoever. None.
I washed my hands earlier, and the water was super hot. Now I took a shower with the hot water, but I had to keep turning it
Same
down.
That's what happened to me.
And it was because we're using the propane. It's much hotter.
Yeah, it was hilarious because I was turning it down, and I was still a little warm because we were outside doing all that work that I just talked about. And come to find out that I had it turned all the way off. I went to turn it down, and there was no more turning it down.
Because actually, I thought the cold water was a little warm.
Yeah, the cold water is warm. So
That's nice that we didn't have to redo all that.
yeah, I have to say, if you guys have warranty work with Dexter,
Part of the
yeah,
deal.
they made it all one shot. So nice. The hardest part by far is taking off the tires, I believe, because taking off the tires, if you guys didn't notice, we'll have to move the water softener and the water filters also, which is the reason that I have these hoses. Now, it's funny because I think a lot of people must watch our videos that don't talk about watching our videos, and we do the same thing. We're guilty of it too. But Yeah, these Flexzilla hoses, buy the ones that are in our store. Don't buy the ones that the people are telling you to buy on those other channels, because even though you see me fooling around with this, the ones that they're recommending don't have these grips, and these grips, ask Heidi. Big difference, right? Because you can tighten them so much easier and loosen them so much easier with these grips. Now, like I said, don't pay attention to this one. It slipped off. I have to push it back up on there. But they're great. They're great to loosen everything up. So Flexzilla, it's a good hose. It's rubber. It's soft rubber. Even when it's cold out, it's soft rubber. You can see, look at how flimsy it is, but it holds shape, and it's very easy to put away. It's drinking water, or drinking hose. So yeah, I'm happy to have it. Yeah, so the hardest part is going to be, like I said, taking off the tire, especially on this side. I'm going to have to jack it up underneath. We'll have to move all the softener stuff and the filters out in this area here, you know, underneath. And then I'll climb underneath and work around this sewer hose. Maybe we'll move the sewer hose. But anyways, just all I need to do is disconnect the tire on the side. All the rest of the work can be done underneath. Then to get the axle in, we're going to have to slide it in, and I'll have to be on this side pulling it underneath. And then once it's where it needs to be, we'll roll it off the skid onto maybe some cardboard. Maybe I'll get out our awning mat, put it underneath so it's protecting me from all this gravel. We do have some cardboard we can work with. And yeah, it's just taking out the old one, clipping the wires. It's going to be quick and easy, and I'm going to say that. And I am not going to knock on wood, because there's really, I mean, there's not a lot going on there. It's more fail-safe than changing tires, I believe. Yeah, this is good. So, what's our day that we get out of here?
Sunday.
We leave Sunday. What's today?
Today is
Monday. All right, so
we have enough time.
we should be able to do this.
Yeah.
We should be able to do it without having to extend our stay. Let's hope. 8:12 at night, 99 degrees. It's about the right amount of time, or the right amount of temperature, to get working on this axle. So I'm going to see exactly how long this takes. And I think there might be a couple loose ends that will have to be done in the morning, possibly. But basically, we're going to put our steps in, which this is already in. We put the awning in, not all the way, so we have some lighting. And I think I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but it's worth a shot, I suppose. And that is leaving the slide out. Now, as I've said earlier today, which you can't really see there, is I have to take off the wheel and tire on this side, so that stuff's going to have to come out of the way and make a little bit of space for me. But I'm going to attempt to do this with a slide out. Key for this whole video is going to be poor lighting. So it wasn't hardly any. Ask Heidi, how much effort did it take me to get to this point?
Not much.
Yeah, wasn't much at all. Killing ants more than anything else. You can see the raid ant and roach killers there. So that was kind of the deciding factor. Heidi kept on asking if we need to move the slide in, and I said honestly the hardest part is just getting the wheel and tire off. Once the wheel and tire's off, you know, that's everything else can be done underneath the RV, and the slide won't even come into play. So I kind of used this side as a judge as far as how difficult it was going to be, and it really wasn't difficult at all. Sewer hose out of the way, and other thing, the softeners and that. Pretty simple though. This block of wood we always keep in the bottle jack box because it's the perfect size. Put a little turn to this, make sure it's ready to be pumped up, which it is. And away we go. I can't really see it because my hand's in the way. There we go. So now I'm just gonna Make sure it's positioned pretty much in the center, which I don't think that it necessarily, well, I guess it is. Looks like it's a little close to me, but that might just be because of the lighting. So let's go ahead and get this up. And you can see the slides out. You know, the slide's completely out here. You won't hear anything real weird or nothing. Now the thing is that what I don't like about this is we're putting all the weight of the RV on just the back axle. It can be done. It is done. For any of you guys that have that Anderson spare tire thing that you drive up on, you do the same thing. It's just for a short period of time. So I still don't know why the axle though is all jacked up, because if you look at this crack here, the gap at the bottom seems to be the same as the gap at the top, but the axles are definitely bent in. It's the axles themselves, the spindles, that are bent in. And you can kind of see, if I can get the shadow just right on the tires, you can see the cupping. See how nothing's nice and level? It's all weird. You should have nice square tread like this here, but yeah, there's cupping going on here because of it riding crooked. So I don't know, they gave us an axle for a reason, I guess. So yeah, now the thing is I'm not only jacking it up to put pressure on just the rear axle, I'm also putting a lot more pressure over on the axle on the other side right now. So we'll just go up high enough that this front tire will spin, and once that happens, we'll take the tire off, which it's tight on here. I don't know why. I torqued it to 100 foot-pounds, but it don't want to come off too easy, that's for sure.
Try not to make too much noise in the neighborhood.
This thing is loud.
Well, luckily it's only like it's almost 9 o'clock.
Still. Yeah, this impact's really loud. Yeah, I'm not sure why they're so difficult to get off.
I'm ready.
This is for everybody who says, oh, you got way too many tools. That's why we have mobile stitch it. And this one's brand new. This is actually something that I turned into Sears under warranty, and they gave me a new one, and I just kept it in this package till just now. Heidi got it out. I didn't even get to get it out of the package. Let's see if this makes a difference. I don't think that it will, but it might. Yeah. So what it was is this one here, or the one that Heidi has in her hand, was acting as a torque limiter. It was too skinny. It was twisting. That's my guess. Let me see on this next one how easy it comes off. That's exactly what it was. And if you guys don't know what torque limiting extensions are, they're for stuff like this that, for example, I know I need to tighten these lug nuts at 100 foot-pounds, or 100 pound-feet, however you want to look at it. And they make extensions that once you get to 100, they twist instead of just keep on driving the nut on. So it's an easy way to torque. All right, so if you look here, all I did was just take off 2 bolts, nuts and washers, and then this side just drops down. That's all that holds it on. I mean, there's a reason why these are really popular. You know, they ride smooth and they go on easy. Apparently at some point some of them bent easy. So we're going to move over to the other side, put the jack underneath, and repeat it. I did cut the wires, just the single wires, so the new brakes will get wired in right in that same place, and yeah, we'll be all set to go. Now I'm not going to wire in the brakes though until we get it all together and on tires, because I can do the brake wiring with it on tires and everything back supported again. And I'll probably do them tomorrow morning, matter of fact, well, it depends how dirty I get.
there, so you turn it around, so that's correct.
Like this.
Yeah.
So you may have these goofy things on your RV, and basically they're glorified Scotch locks, and you can take them apart, reload these little metal things right here, and they will they'll be back ready to use. Now, if you don't know what Scotch locks are, I don't 100% agree with using Scotch locks, but basically you put your wires then inside the Scotch lock, which I'll just kind of put the cover back on so you can see what it looks like. Now, they've got dielectric grease in there. I suggest you do the same, but what you can do is put your wires in the holes, and then once the wires are bottomed out inside the holes, you just take a pair of pliers and you squeeze this, and it penetrates the wires and it makes the connection again. Now, I could just as easily take this wire and strip this single wire and make it to where there's a new butt connector and everything, but you want the least amount of connections as possible down here that could potentially fail. Now, we are taking our time because we're filming and all that stuff, so I think I could have gotten this done in, if I had the slides in,
45 minutes.
45 minutes. I think you could change this axle in 45 minutes. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, we're just taking our good old time. Plus, it's getting cooler as we work, so that's kind of nice.
Michael's buttoning up on this side.
Yeah, just torquing the wheels. That's all. Now, I'll do the brakes tomorrow. I'll wire the brakes tomorrow, because it's time to stop and get everything set up the way that it was, so we can actually use the RV. Well, I'm dirty. Haven't been this dirty for a while. I don't know if I missed that or not. You dirty?
Yep, hands are soapy.
Heidi's dirty.
Everything's got like black grease on it.
Yeah, everything has a layer of something on it. So, I'm out of shape. I used to be able to do this work and just fly right on through it with no problems, but basically all we have to do now is button up some stuff. Not a lot, but I do need to button up some stuff. I need to put the awning back out. Need to put the tie downs back on it. We have to level the RV. Have to get the steps back out. And tomorrow, at some point, whenever I feel like it, and it's relatively cool, I need to redo all of the plumbing over there. Basically move everything back to where it was. And before I do that, though, I have to connect the brakes. That's it, just connect the brakes. Everything looked really good. I'm still impressed with how easy these axles are to work with. And looking at it, I just can't tell why, we were having a problem with it. I don't know. Like I said, the spindle had to be damaged. So the fact that these are 3,500 pound axles, or 4,000, they're 4,000 pound axles. Yeah. That's right, 4,000 pound axles. I'd like to see if we can find somebody that'll pick them up for free, because this would be a great, easy trailer axle to make. I mean, all you have to do is make the frame and then bolt it on. Heidi and I talked about the bearings and, the brakes, the drums and all that stuff. We only have about 8,000 miles on these brakes. There are some parts in there that some people have had problems with failing, but when it comes right down to it, we decided we don't want to haul around just in case that's 35 pounds each, because basically I'd have to pull off the brake assembly and put it in a box or a tote or something and carry around in the back of the truck just in case. And quite honestly, they're readily available, and they're only about maybe $70 a piece, complete for the brake assemblies. And if I need the part on the road, I mean, I'll address it at that time. But yeah, let's go ahead and level this thing out, and I gotta go take a shower. Heidi's gotta go take a shower now too. She's all dirty. Yeah, look.
Something going in here, is that why it was open?
Ooh, there you go. Yeah, there was a reason that this was open. What was it that I got out? The bike cover bungee? Was that it? No. I don't remember what was in there, but yeah. Let's go ahead and finish out today, and we'll pick this up another time. This is good because now the only thing we have to do is, like I said, the brakes on this. And there's a couple other small things, but yeah, go to Mexico and get some dental work done.
It's 8 o'clock on Tuesday, June something, I don't know. It's when we did the axle. And you can see how quiet the park is. All these people that are here, they're not necessarily permanent campers, seasonal or whatever, but they're permanent here. But it's a cool 100 degrees. It might be hotter than that. It's a little breezy, so it feels cool. Today was 116. If you've never been in a 116 degree, it's hot. But anyway, the RV is keeping us about 85. So I got a little warm today, but considering it was 115 out, I think it did pretty good. But Michael's finishing up the brakes, and so that we can actually hopefully take off on Sunday. You've seen this pictures and videos of the same spot we've been in for, well, Sunday will be about a month we've been here.
Alright, just like the other night, working in the dark, but we're all finished. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see in here, but there's the wiring. And pretty simple. If you haven't done brake wiring on this, but you've done wiring on like speakers and stuff like that, don't expect it to make sense. Because the deal is here is you energize either wire. It doesn't make a difference as long as power is going through it. And some of these RV manufacturers, the way that they put their wiring through here is as efficient as possible. All tucked up and out of the way, and you got to make sure when you tie them up, they still give them plenty of room to bounce up and down, because you might be driving through Louisiana again. Well, we had a big step that we just took. So we got the brakes, as you've seen, all buttoned up on the RV. Listen, that was the next day in the evening that I finished those up. I didn't make that clear. So we installed the axle the day that we were really dirty, and then I went ahead and threw on my old dirty clothes again, and the next night, and we finished up the axle, or the brakes. So we'll have to test the brakes whenever we leave here. Make sure they're okay.
We're leaving tomorrow.
We're not leaving tomorrow. But we could leave tomorrow. We definitely want to leave out of here. But we were waiting for the dentist stuff. Now, my teeth on the front of my, I mean, to get personal, I guess, on some level, this tooth here was knocked out, busted out a long time ago, and it's all fake. The doctor that did it did a horrible job, or the dentist did it years ago, and he said, oh, it'll wear down. Anyways, did a bad job. Now since then, I've chipped these other teeth a little bit by doing an overbite when I'm upset and mad. I think I did it that way. I've cracked this tooth trying to turn a pump in my mouth, a generator pump. The shaft was locked up. I cracked, and it just chipped it a little bit. So the thing is my teeth are like
Steel.
they're rock solid. My teeth are very.
You choose ice.
I eat ice every night, cup full
all day long.
Every glass of ice water that I get, I fill full of ice. I drink all my water. I eat all my ice, and I do that when we go to we get a pop or a tea somewhere. It's all about the ice. And I've done that for decades.
Yes.
Not years, decades. My teeth are just pretty solid. Now with that, notwithstanding, I had a cavity back here. I have a cavity on this side that was filled a long time ago, and my teeth had buildup on these lower teeth. When I went in, the dentist today, he checked the fillings that I had, and he said they look fine, and he checked for buildup everywhere on my mouth, and I didn't have any except in my front teeth, these front 4 teeth, which I knew about. So I have not had dental work done to my teeth since 1984, and this filling back here was soft, and they had to redo it. I think it's a little deep. It probably could have got redone again, but he said not. He put the pick in it, and he said it's okay. But the cleaning, they had to do the tartar off the bottom teeth, and they do a good job. I have gaps in my teeth now, but still, it's all clean, which is really nice. And again, I haven't had any dental work since 1984. Now, when I was in the Army, they looked at my teeth, and they told me that there might be some work that may need to be done in the future, but that was in 1988. So I've just ignored it for the most part. But I take care of my teeth. We have plackers. I always brush my teeth a couple times a day. Sometimes I might skip one. But we always take care of our teeth for the most part. Now, Heidi has sensitive teeth.
Oh my. So when I was getting my teeth cleaned, I was squirming in the chair on this side a little bit and making faces. And he's like, oh, is that hurt? And I'm like, no. I said, it's just sensitive. It's the water that's really sensitive to my mouth. And he said, well, we can numb you up. And I said, well, as long as you can stand me squirming around and making faces, I said, I can handle it. Well, when he got over here, he didn't even hesitate. He's like, you're getting Novocaine. Or he said that I had to get numbed up. So he shot me up, I think, twice here, and it's still kind of numb. So he could finish, and I didn't feel. I mean, I could feel it, but not feel it. And I have maybe one little spot here. So other than that, I got a pretty good checkup.
So the thing about this is, if you guys don't know, which there's so many videos on this, just go check out the other videos. I hate to be do a redundant video just to say, hey, look, and the title of this video might have something about the dentist, but we went to Los Algodones, which is right across the border. We're in Yuma. It is a
13-mile.
Yeah, so it's maybe a 20-minute drive at the most. You pay $6 for your parking. You walk over, and that's one of the reasons we're here in the summer. You walk right in pretty much, and when you come out, the line is 4 people. Do we have 4? We had 4 or 5 people in front of us when we were leaving to go through customs. All the places are pretty much empty. Everybody's out, and they're wanting your business. So we went, after a lot of research, to Simply Dental, and they did a good job.
It was $35.
Yeah, that was nice. It's $35. That was
Even with me getting Novocaine, it was still $35.
Yeah, $35. Just to.
I mean, it's a no frills place. Very small.
Now he told me he could fix my upper teeth. They took X-rays real quick. Again, still $35.
Yeah.
But they took X-rays of this busted tooth, and they told me that they'd probably do a crown on this one and then veneers on these, because a couple little chips in that, and discoloration to some extent. And it was like, it'd be $2,400. We could do it. We're not going to, though. We're just not. I'm not in the mood for it.
Got his teeth cleaned.
Yeah, I got my teeth cleaned, and my teeth have been doing me good for all these years, the way they are. I have a problem that they're going to actually take away this hard-ass enamel that I have on my teeth that's been serving me so well all these years. And they're going to grind that off to put on something fake that it may break the first ice cube that I eat.
Well, yeah, and if you did have a problem, where are you going to go?
Right.
You're going to end up going to a local dentist.
Yeah.
And paying $2,400 for one tooth.
Yeah.
And it would, I mean, other than, oh, that's so funny.
It's time for us to leave Mexico. It's time for us to make sure we're in line to get to the border, which there wasn't much of a line.
No, it wasn't busy at all.
So, with that said, you guys, if you're looking to do eyeglasses, prescriptions, or dental, and of course shopping, of course food too. Food is good over there.
I would imagine, and I don't want to take away from what they have gone over there. Like, I can go get a pair of glasses at America's Best for more money, but if I have a problem with them,
you don't have to come to Mexico.
Right.
I think that's pretty much it. We will do laundry, and we did some grocery shopping. We'll put fresh water in the freshwater tank, and we can head out. I don't know where we're going. We think we're going to head north to Nevada, I think, and then maybe over to California. But anyways, I don't know which way we're going. I have no idea. Maybe we'll go around through the U.S. the other way. We are now in the process of closing up shop. How long have we been here total? Well, how long will we have been here?
Almost a month.
Yeah.
A month. 4 weeks.
We used a lot of electricity here. Last I checked, again, because we have that power watchdog, it counts how many kilowatt hours we use. And we used a lot. I mean, the air's just running constantly. So if you're in this area during a hot time of year, which I'll talk about that in a second, and you're going to pay for your electricity monthly, I think you can add about another $150, $160 a month if you're running 2 rooftop air conditioners.
It'd be like just living at home for us.
Yeah, yeah.
We were about 150
for the whole house.
175. Yeah. So it's a little pricey, considering.
Yeah, electricity seems a little expensive down here, from what I can tell. So, on the last video I posted, I talked about how don't listen to everybody, and as far as listen, what I was basically saying is don't be afraid that you're not going to be able to go camping. And I gave the example of this place that we're here, and I had a bunch of comments about, oh, that place is hot, and who wants to stay there, and yeah, that doesn't make any sense, and that was just an example. The problem that we're having, and you're going to have to get it through your head, whether you want to or not, you're going to have to change the way you do things. You've got to expand your mind and think about being more flexible. Because if you aren't flexible, and what I mean is all the way down to the very initial purchase of your rig, as I did mention in the last video, if you buy a big rig and say, this is what I want because I want to haul my side-by-side, I want my side-by-side with me, or got to have my golf cart, got to have my motorcycles or whatever. Everybody camps their own way, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, as soon as you get a rig that accommodates all your stuff you want to take with you, or you want to make sure that when you pull in, everybody turns their heads and points, and, oh, look at that one, because it's so big, then you can expect that your flexibility has just become like your unit. Not flexible, hard to use, hard to get into places. It's going to be tough. So, Who wants to live in a little RV? Well, I'm just saying that it can be done. We are in a 26-foot box, and it's okay. And a lot of you can. A lot of you, hey, I've got 2 kids, I got big dogs, whatever. I'm just saying, expect that flexibility of being able to get into campgrounds, your flexibility, to be hindered by you not being flexible and saying, well, maybe we can be in a little bit smaller unit. So now, let's say you're in a smaller unit. You're still going to run into situations where you need to be flexible about how you want to camp. Sure, everybody wants to go into the riverfront campsite, back right up to the river, have paved cobblestone for not only their rig to be parked on, but for their vehicle to be parked on, and for them to be able to sit out on, with a built-in fire pit, picnic table, maybe even a canopy, 50 amp service, full hookups, the whole deal. You have to be flexible. You might be pulling into a field and have no hookups. If you do like a harvest host, you might be doing a boondocker's welcome that you pull into a driveway and have a 15 amp cord. Of course, if you're in the middle of the summer, that's not going to necessarily work for you, unless you've done like we've done and we prepped for some of this stuff. We're still not in the ideal situation. We need a whole crap load of solar on the roof for us to go boondock a little bit more. And if we had the whole crap load of solar with a whole bunch of batteries, and we had one of those Victron converter things that uses the battery and the shore power, our electricity bill would have been lower here, and that would allow us to do some different stuff. But we don't want to go to that extreme yet. We don't know how much we want to boondock, and we're experimenting with that. So again, it's about flexibility and preparation, I guess I should say, too, because we do have a generator. So when we pull into somebody's boondocker welcome and the guy says, hey, how, here, guys have free reign of this whole area, just back in here, I have a cord for you, and you can come down and fill up your water jugs if you want to put water in your rig. Something like that. We can do that. We can do that. Even if it's warm, as long as it's not too hot, we can run an air conditioner. The other flexibility, or I should say preparation that we had made, was buying into some of these memberships, like our 1,000 Trails, which gives us Encore Parks and RPI. Those sometimes work, sometimes don't. We are in an Encore Park. We stayed for 2 weeks for free. We paid for 2 weeks, so yeah, we have been here a month. Wow. It seems weird.
Normally you are not able to do that, so...
Right, don't count on that, but again, just be flexible. We could have done it just as easily if we left the park, stayed at Pilot Knob BLM land, which is just past the entrance to the Mexican border to get to Los Algodones. We could have stayed over there for a week. Then we could have came back either to this park, or there's another one right down the street, or there's another one a little bit further away. We could have stayed at any of those parks.
I think there's like 7 of them.
There's a lot of them. But again, flexibility. Or, since they're slow, they're more than happy, you pay a rate which is reduced, and you can stay here.
I'm pretty sure it was like a Passport America discount.
Yeah, it's a very good discount here. I mean, we stayed really cheap. So, one more thing that I want to bring to this whole point, because everybody's saying, "Oh, you got it. You're going to have to make reservations. You go anywhere else." We're a month out. It's because you're trying to. Here's the area you want to be at, and that's it. I understand. We used to be that way. We used to be where it takes. Heidi gets off for 2 weeks. We got to drive as soon as she gets off on Friday night. We drive right to the campground. We check in. We stay for 2 weeks. We check out, drive right back. She's got to go back to work. We've been there. That was our vacation. That's the way we used to vacation. In that situation, sure, you're going to have to make a reservation. But what's the disadvantage? I mean, so far in the future that you're going to plan for that. Who cares if it's a year out that you got to make a reservation? So now, if you're saying, well, sometimes I like to go and do a little weekend trip. Well, do a little weekend trip. Just find a place that's available. Don't think that it's going to be, I'm driving there, I'm hooking up. Like I mentioned, all these RVs are loaded up. I have holding tanks. I have propane. In this case, I have a generator. I have a solar panel. I mean, just those things. If you have those things, that's why they're mobile. That's why you can go places and pull in and spread out the unit if it's got slides, and you have the ability to stay there. Now, of course, your electricity is always the issue. I knew that. That's, again, why I put that. I even got that. It's just a little generator. You could get a little one. Get 2 little ones if you want. Go back and check out that video that I did on that if you're just tuning in on this. But you have to, you've got to be flexible about things. And maybe you're not going to be able to stay as long as you want. Maybe instead of the week, you might only get 5 days. All right, well, that's fine. Now, whenever we're traveling, in our situation, we're only getting or needing a few days at spots, but it doesn't mean we couldn't stay longer. And actually, 2 of the places that we're getting ready to go to, which I'm going to talk about, we could stay longer at, but we chose not to. So everybody, this time of year, camping, overwhelmed, whatever. Here's our perfect example. Because it was late in the evening last night, we couldn't make reservations the way we wanted to, because places were closed. We spent a total of maybe an hour. And that was because we were being picky. We were looking up places. We were researching them, all that stuff. One place, we didn't get a response right away, so we just hung up. We have reservations at 3 campgrounds for the next 3 weeks. Would that be 3 weeks, right?
2 weeks.
Is it 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we just basically, we want to, this one will work. Okay, let's give them a call. I think we were turned down by one place. Yeah, one place said they didn't have, and we didn't elaborate. We told them we wanted this block of time. They said they don't have anything for that time. We could have said, well, what do you have? And we probably could have got in there, but we're like, nah, we really wanted that amount of time there. So we're leaving here and going to, I don't remember all the places now.
Venture and RV, but I don't remember
It's
Solo.
Yeah, Solo, Arizona. So we're leaving here. We're going to go to Solo, Arizona.
Is it Sholo or
Sholo?
Yeah.
Solo. Sholo, Arizona. We'll be there for a short time. Then we're leaving from there, and we're going to...
Hidden Valley?
No, that's the last one, I think, isn't it? No, yeah, Hidden Valley's the next one. So we're going to another campground then. That's a little bit further in, and that one is...
New Mexico.
In New Mexico. We're going to be in New Mexico for a short time, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. And then we're leaving there, and we're going to Colorado. We're going to go see our son. And that place, we're there for 5 days. We wanted to be a week there, but they only had 5 days available. And guess why? Come on, guess why? Because it's freaking 4th of July weekend we're running into.
She said that there's a possibility that we could stay.
See what I'm saying?
She also said that if we can actually find a hotel or something to stay at, if we needed to stay longer, that we could keep our rig there.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I'm telling you guys, there's so much that you can still do. So for the original whole concept and meaning behind my rant on that last video was that we've got people that are those rock solid, rigid, this is the only way I camp, this is the only place I stay at, and I can't get in there. It must be a second national pandemic that's going on. This one's called the RV pandemic. We got CV pandemic, now we got RV pandemic. It's not the case. I'm telling you, we're out here, we're doing it, we're traveling around, and you have to be flexible. You have to utilize all the stuff that's going on. And the nice thing about that is, there's channels on YouTube that specifically do this, and The one is, I think, called Yes Theory, and I've watched a few of their videos, and it's embrace chaos. Embrace. You're going to learn. You're going to experience life. You're going to get to do stuff you probably never done before and go to places you never done before. Don't be locked into, I have to go to the state parks and I need my 2 weeks and I need 50 amp. And if I don't get it, then there's a problem in the entire country with RVing. No, that's not the case. I know there's people that are in that situation, but don't raise the red flag and yell and scream at the top of your lungs that this is horrible, I can't do what I used to do. No kidding. Guess what it's called? CHANGE. Change.
If you can't get a 50 amp, you need to figure out how you can live on 30 amp, because we just did it for a month.
Yeah, in Arizona.
Yeah, 100 and plus degrees.
Right. I mean, I installed those micro air easy starts for that reason on both rooftop air conditioners. It's just power management. It's crazy that we've got so many people that are narrow-minded about this, and I don't care if you're set in your ways and you have to do it a certain way. That's fine. Don't be the ones out there that's heralding, hey, there's a problem, and it's a big problem. Nobody can get into campgrounds anymore, because that is not the truth. That's not the truth. You can't get into the campgrounds because you're being very limited. I understand that there's people that want to do things a certain way. I get it. But again, don't spread the word that there's no way that you can get into a campground, because it's just not the case. And a stay, for that matter. I mean, have you guys ever stayed at a Cabela's? But have you never stayed at a Cracker Barrel? Have you never stayed at a Walmart? Have you never stayed at a Love's Truck Stop? Have you never stayed at a Pilot Flying J? Those aren't ideal situations. That's not a vacation situation. But that is a location that you can stay at. That's a place you can stay, even if it's for the night, so you can get enough sleep, so you can drive to the location that has a spot for you. I mean, it's an experience. You should experience it. You can tell with the way that I'm getting riled up as far as my voice and that. I hate whenever people put limitations on themselves, but I hate it even more whenever they speak that those limitations are for everybody, when it's not the truth. It's just not the truth. So, how did we rant again? I ranted again.
So anyway, so let's say you want to go somewhere and it's not going to work out. Then you maybe want to change your plans. You know, we were trying to get to Joshua Tree National Park. There's a heat, number one, where it's not.
There's no hookups.
There's no hookups.
We could do it.
Yeah, but
we're tired. We're tired of the heat.
We're tired of the heat.
We still love the heat.
The park is probably gonna be pretty packed. So we decided against it. So that's why we're going a different direction now. But
yeah, there's a perfect example. What you're saying.
Yeah.
We were supposed to go, looking at the map, we're supposed to go kind of this way. So we thought, we'll just go this way. I mean,
because we don't have plans by date. I get the ones that are going on vacation and they want to go to a certain, and you might have to make reservations early. But
I still think that might be a problem with a lot of people, and I get it. That's a fear factor thing. We did it one time and we were happy with it. We were living at home. Heidi only had a limited time that we could travel. It was a couple weeks that we could actually travel. And we literally left our house pulling our RV. This is with the old truck and the trailer. And as we were driving down the highway, we're like, do you want to go to Arizona or do you want to go to Florida? And at that time, Arizona had a big heat wave going on, numerous days in the 120s. And our RV, which was smaller, and we did have a generator, we just didn't think we wanted to do that. So we said, let's go to Florida. And we had no reservations. Now, this was pre-COVID, but it was still in the rise. This is 2017. This was in the rise of what RVing was all, it was really growing. We got to go pretty much everywhere we wanted to go. We did it in off season. There's the other thing. I know a lot of people have a problem with that, but if you guys love, that's the thing. I hate the cold. I hate the snow. And I got so many people like, no, it's nice. The winter and the fall colors and all that stuff. Camp in it. There you go. That's all off season. Go camping in your unit. And if it's too cold and stuff's freezing up, well, do something about that. Winterize your unit. I'm talking about make it to where it can handle the cold a little better. That's another reason we upgraded into an RV that has an enclosed underbelly and heated tanks, because we knew we might be in the situation where it gets a little cold, potentially a lot cold. But if you don't mind the heat like we don't, off season we come down south, and guess what? All the parks are open. Flexible. Open your mind. Just think about things. It's just, again, just beating a dead horse here. So,
well, you got that cleared up, so you
Yeah.
don't talk about that for a while.
yeah, hopefully we don't have to talk about that anymore. I'm going to attempt to put that track on, that screw track on just this side, maybe the front, but it's about 9:30, and it's only
96.
97, feels
Yeah.
like 95, and just within an hour it's going to be 100. It'll be 113 today for the high, so I'm going to try to get up on the roof while the sun's still not beating straight down. All right, so up on the roof. Click, click, click. Is that how that works? I don't know about that window that we just got installed. Looks like it's not fully cured still, but yeah, that's what I thought. They did fold this over. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, it's folded over. Damn it, they put it underneath there, so I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to kind of ignore that and do it my own way now. But the track is cracked. Cracked and split in the middle. So not a big deal. What I did was I put a bunch of silicone in the area in which the track is to go into, and I just pushed it in, and it went in, I don't know, probably 2 inches at least, maybe even 3 inches. Then I made that fold backwards, started it in the track, and then put silicone all over it to hold it there. So hopefully that'll do the job. If not, we might have this thing flapping going down the road. I don't know. But I think this will work just fine. So let me go ahead and finish this out by, again, just pushing the track in. I mean, it's not a big deal. You don't have to slide it in or anything. It just, especially in this heat, you just kind of fold it in place, and that's it. It covers the track. You can see, makes it look new again. Good morning, YouTube. Heidi's off doing laundry. We kind of thought I might sleep in tomorrow, or today I should say. Yesterday I thought, and Heidi thought, that there was a chance I might be sleeping in, so she said that she would take off and do laundry if that was the case. So looks like it's a little windy out here. I haven't got the microphone on this phone yet, the windscreen on this microphone. Man, I'm having a hard time today. Whew. Maybe I shouldn't talk so much. All right, let's do exactly that. I'm not going to talk that much. I have a few things I have to do to the camera to make it a little bit more the way that it should be for you guys. But this is a new to me camera. My old Sony that I've had forever. I got rid of that GoPro Hero. It was junk. I hated it. But this baby here, I've had for a long time. When this model first came out, I was a Sony cam user for a few years at that point, about 3 years, and I loved them. And I still have my other Sony camera in here somewhere, and I have sold tons of them that I've used in the past, but this one here is my go-to favorite. It's the best camera I've ever owned, and it's just brutal. But the problem is it's not as brutal as I am as far as damaging cameras and stuff. So basically, this door on the back, the retaining straps, they broke finally. Actually, only one broke, but it was getting in the way of closing this thing, so I had to put another one on there, or cut the other one off. I've got quite a few batteries for this. It shoots in 4K if I want to do that, and you can see here it says 4K. But it's just a great camera, and I recommended it in the past. This still works fine. Well, we thought we had a problem whenever the windscreen here, the little beard that's on there, the dead cat, whatever you want to call it, the way I installed it, it smashed up against the microphones, and I've got some really bad footage because of it. I thought the camera was bad. Then I started thinking about it, and like, wait a minute. So I bought this one off of eBay. It's very, very slightly used, and I had it shipped here, and I got a good deal on it because these things, if you can find a brand new Sony camera, you're going to pay $800 for them. Most of them are coming from Japan or Korea. You can't even find them in the US brand new anymore because they quit making them, I don't know, last year, I guess. So yeah, to find one used, that was lightly used, very lightly used, I think I get a good deal on it. So good for you guys too, huh? I got to go outside and work. Tomorrow we're leaving. We're going to head out of here early in the morning, most likely. It's 95 degrees outside, and today it says it's going to be 112, very hot. Tomorrow it says 113. You can see the temperatures. I don't have to worry too much about that because we're going to be leaving on the 113 very hot day, and we're going to leave before it gets to that temperature. So where are we going? 1,000 Trails thing. Remember, I told you guys that we don't have a problem making reservations, and we're making reservations at places that are in our membership. The 1,000 Trails Park, we could stay there, I don't even know how long. We only want to stay 4 days. And the nice thing about it is the high temperatures there are only in the 90s, 95 and that. I can deal with that. I mean, you got to figure that if the high temperature is only 95, I know you guys are like, well, that's still hot. Well, it's 20 degrees colder than what we've been dealing with. We love the heat. But I'll tell you, day after day after day after day, it wears on you. It wears on you. I love the fact though that we haven't had any rain. It's dry every day. You can plan on doing stuff. You don't have to worry about walking through mud and muddy sites or none of that stuff. However, we kind of wish we did have rain. The RV could use a good washing. Our screen outside, it could use a good washing. The truck, I've washed it 3 times since we've been here, and yeah, it gets dusty. So it'll be nice to get out of here and go to a place that's cooler. Not cold, but cooler. And then after that, our next reservation is in Tijeras, something like that. Tijeras, New Mexico. And that's an RPI. It costs us $10 a day to stay there because it's part of our membership, our 1,000 Trails membership. Again, we just called up and made a reservation. Those are both 50 amp full hookup sites. So again, with there's no place to camp. It's the middle of the summer. Now that other place in Tijeras or whatever it is, they're not. That's not hot at all there. It's in the 80s. I don't know. It is summer. I mean, most people go out and enjoy themselves. I don't have a problem with the 80s. And in the evening, I'll tell you what, Heidi and I will probably feel like we're freezing because I think it gets down to where it's in the 60s at night. So I got to go outside and I got to do some work. And I hate to take you out here because it's so windy, but let me bend down here. The lake is in the, the description down below has a link for our Amazon store. And yeah, this one's from a company called Hitch Clamp, sorry. It's all one word, hitchclamp.com. And this one works the best for me. Now in my case, because I have that big rock shield across the back of the truck, I have to install this upside down. I don't like doing it, but instead of this being up and yeah, kind of like that on the hitch to where you tighten it down, my trail shield, my rock shield or whatever is in the way. I can't get to this. There's not enough room between the hitch and the rock shield mount to tighten these things. So I have to actually reverse this thing and put it on backwards. It works. It's just I don't like doing it because it bends it. Oh, let me turn off the light there and we'll step outside in the wind. Oh, it's not horribly windy, but there is some wind. We got to put the bikes away today. The scooter, got to put that away. I still have obviously the bicycles in the back, which we talked about. We're going to sell our bikes. Go ahead and give you a little hint, or not so little hint. We ordered the bikes that are going to replace those bikes. They're on a backlog as far as being shipped, so they said they would ship them to where we're at the time that they actually leave. I got to call and talk to somebody. That right there is worth it by far. I don't even care if the bikes are substandard on some level, which I'm sure they might be, because they are definitely different than what we have currently. And there's going to be a lot of comparison, I'm sure. Hey, this bike did this versus this bike, don't do that, that kind of thing. However, the fact that I can call and talk to somebody and yeah, man, come on, that's just like a no-brainer. I'm hoping that the bike will be so easy to use that it might make me not necessarily want to use my scooter. I don't know if that'll be the case, but what a nice day today. Well, I got to work before it gets hot because at some point it won't be so nice. I got the hitch installed, or the anti-rattle installed on the hitch. Heidi got all the laundry done. I sat here and started editing video, and this video is really long, as you've already seen. And during all that time, Heidi cleaned pretty much the entire RV, scrubbed the entire floor. So it's clean. It's nice. It's clean. We're out of here, so I'm trying to get Heidi's thoughts on this. We've been here a month. Where else have we stayed a month? Orlando? No. Wildwood, we were there a month.
Zephyr Hills, almost a month.
Yep, Zephyr Hills was just shy of a month. Orlando was 3 weeks. Okeechobee was...
It was not quite a month.
Okay.
3 weeks, I think.
And Fort Myers was
Only
2 weeks.
Not 3 weeks.
Was it 3 weeks?
Yeah, we paid an extra week.
So, this is one of our longer stays. How does this rate along with the rest?
The weather's, I mean, other than they're having a heat wave, though it's always sunny.
Always dry.
Always dry and always sunny.
Yeah.
Every day has been sunny. Every single day we've been here.
Yes.
There has not been a dreary day since we got here.
It's different.
It's definitely different.
I think that I don't think that this would be a year-round living situation for us. Now, if you guys don't, I mean, we've said this, and I'll reiterate it, but we've said this a few times. You know, we're kind of on a national tour of where we may want to live in the future. I would believe that there are cities that are in the drier climates that are a little bit cooler than here, that have very minimal rainfall and have a tendency to be pretty sunny. Yeah, with no snow, that we could entertain. Phoenix is a few hours away. Yeah, I would think that maybe one of those cities you should check out. And you know, obviously we'll check them out. We got to drive through Phoenix, so we'll see what that's like. I'm sure it's going to be similar, but yeah, I kind of like to stay here. I mean, we did stay longer than what we planned, and I even though I put the note on the video, I just mentioned the electricity thing here. We didn't pay for electric. It's, you know, you just pay for your stay. I think if we paid for over a month, they might want to charge us electric if we stayed, you know,
Right.
and paid for it. But I said, being that it's an Encore park, and don't expect that.
Yeah.
You know, Encore is, the way it's supposed to work is you go to an Encore park for 2 weeks and then you're out of there.
But not all Encore parks are members of other discounted places.
Right.
I believe that they give me a Passport America discount.
Right, which, I mean, we haven't really even mentioned the rate. It's pretty low. It was pretty darn low.
$21 a day.
Yeah, which is not great, awesome.
Right.
But what I'm
We're
saying
very
is,
grateful.
if you're a Thousand Trails member, the way that it's supposed to work is you go to the Encore parks, you stay for 2 weeks, then you have to leave and be out of the Encore park system for a week. Then you can come back, maybe. Each park has the right to limit anybody that's trying to live in the park. So that's why I say this may not be normal for you. In our case, we just decided to become customers and pay at an off-season rate for 2 weeks. But I think
they didn't. The guy, whenever I went to pay for the first week, he said generally, you know, since you're an Encore member, they don't allow you to stay.
right.
And I had explained to him that I had talked to the other girl, and she had given me a price, and he wasn't arguing or anything with me. He just said generally, well, the park's empty, so every little dollar extra they can get,
Helps.
they're going to take.
That's the other reason I think we may have enjoyed our stay here a little bit more than normal. And that
There's
is, it's
absolutely zero people like outside at night. Even like when I took the trash, because it's almost to the road last night, it is so quiet.
yeah. Now
I mean, it's
there's people here,
Oh yeah,
and there's people that walk at night.
right. But I'm saying, like, it was a cooler night last night. Later, obviously.
90.
Yeah, and you don't hear anything. It is so quiet. It's very quiet.
So we give the place thumbs up. I give the city thumbs up too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I know that their crime rate is not the best, but
We didn't have any.
we didn't have any issue. I didn't, you know, other than panhandle kind of thing going on. Other than that, you know, it's a depressed area on some level, but there's parts of the city that you get into, and it's very nice, very, very nice. The other thing is you're going to see a lot of older cars here, not a lot of new cars, and that's because, man, I figured out, or I looked up, Arizona's registrations for vehicles is based on the year, and you pay a percentage of the price for your vehicle based on the year. So the fact that we have, even though we got a really good deal on the truck, although we got a $50,000 truck there, our tags would be expensive. I can't remember how much it was a year. It was pretty drastic. But you see a lot of older cars, obviously, that people are. I'll tell you one thing: those cars' cooling systems and air conditioning systems are top notch. They have to be down here.
Very few vehicles, like less than 5, that we've seen with their windows down.
Yeah, it's just too hot. So for them to have a good AC system that's operating correctly and the car's not overheating on the side of the road, that's saying something. I have to say that's something.
Yeah, we haven't seen any
Broke down cars.
broke down,
We hardly seen any cops.
right?
We have not seen any. Now we've heard sirens here, but we haven't hardly seen any police. That I've never seen any of them pull anybody over. Have you? Yeah. So we're heading out of here tomorrow morning. I want to close this video out It's very long. I apologize for that, but we
No,
wanted,
don't.
yeah, it just makes it easy for us to bunch it all together for our stay. And the next video you see will be us hitting the road and how that goes. And eventually, we should be in Colorado. So, you know what to say, Hyde.
As always, we hope to see you out here somewhere. Bye.
Bye.